Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a DDD deck profile. Now this deck is really fun. It's one of the most combo heavy decks in the entire history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Being able to summon every single summoning mechanic possible, including Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, Pendulum, and Link now. The only thing that they don't have is actually a ritual monster, which is something that I think that they might do in the future, but they have all the different extra deck mechanics in one. Now, all we're waiting on now is DDD Gilgamesh, and after that, we're going to have an amazing deck. It's still good right now because we have a couple of Link monsters that we can use for the moment, but as soon as Gilgamesh comes out, this deck is going to be absolutely nuts. So, without further ado, guys, let's get straight into this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down there so you can become a part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on it. But before we do, really quickly, I want to give a shout out to my best friend Todd. This is one of his favorite decks of all time. I'm actually helping him make it right now. So this is kind of like a tutorial for him to show him how I built my deck so he can kind of look at it and go, okay, I want to change that and that to make his own. So his YouTube channel will be down in the description below, and his Twitch channel, or his YouTube channel will be right down there. So you guys totally check that out, and I will see you guys after the deck. So we're going to be playing 3 copies of DDD Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. Now you got to play 3 Ragnarok because it's one of the best ones in the entire deck. Its pendulum effect is if a DD monster is special summoned except during damage step, you can target a DD monster in your grave, and any battle damage your opponent takes for the rest of the turn is halved, which is not that big of a deal because usually you're just going to be doing this on your first turn to set up. You can special summon that monster, and if you do take 1,000 damage, it's not that big of a deal to take 1,000 damage for a monster reborn. So we play it as a 3 of. Its monster effect is if this card is normal or special summon, you can target one DDD monster in your grave and special summon it. So not only brings itself out, but it brings another one out. Usually you're going to pendulum summon it out with a like a Kepler and something else. There's different ways to pendulum summon out in this deck, like Kepler and then Copernicus in the pendulum zones to special summon out DD Ragnarok. But there's just so many combos in this deck that you can end up with a hand one game and go a completely different route to get to a different field another game. Like you have to kind of play it by ear every time you draw a hand. So then we play 2 copies of DD Savant Thomas. I just play 2 copies of it. Some people play 3. Some people don't even play it. I think it's still a good card at 2. During your main phase, you can send a face-up DD Pendulum monster from your extra deck to the hand, or you can add one from your extra deck to your hand, which is really good to retrieve, like Oblivion King or something like that, to be able to keep playing. And then it's just a really good level 8 to be able to overlay into Yugioh as well. Then I play 3 copies of Copernicus. Copernicus' effect is basically like a Foolish Burial. You normally just normal summon him or special summon him, and then you get to Foolish Burial like Swirl Slime or Necro Slime to grave, or even Lamia to grave, so you can just go for your Synchros or Fusions depending on what you need to go for. Kepler is the exact opposite. Its effect is that you can, when it's normal summoned or special summoned, you can add a Dark Contract from your deck to the hand, which is really good because you can add Dark Contract. Let's see, which one is it? Dark Contract with the Gate, and then Dark Contract with the Gate is like Rhoda. It lets you add any of the ones that you are in your deck to your hand. So you kind of need the 3 Kepler. Regardless of what kind of DDD build, you need Kepler. Then I play 3 copies of Swirl Slime. Swirl Slime is important to me because with Swirl Slime, it allows us to fusion summon really easily in this deck. Just to be able to go into stuff like the Genghis and stuff like that. You have all sorts of different plays with it, and it just helps out with so many different combos. Because like if it's in your hand, you can fusion summon a DD monster from your extra deck using this card in your hand as fusion material, including this card. So you just use it as polymerization essentially. But it also has that bonus effect that everybody, like if you're not familiar with DDDs, it has an ability that when you can banish it from your graveyard to special summon a DD monster from your hand. So you can special summon out like Oblivion King, and then Oblivion King chains, and then you special summon another one from grave. And so like it just has good effects. Like you need the 3 Swirl Slime. Then I play 3 copies of Necro Slime as well. Necro Slime is kind of like Miracle Fusion for Heroes, if you guys play Heroes ever. If this card's in your graveyard, you can fusion summon a DDD fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing materials listed on it from your grave, which is kind of nice because it can let you go into Genghis or the big Genghis or something like that. It really, really helps out to, well, you can't go into you can go into big Genghis as long as you banish a level 5 or higher one. Or it can let you go into D-Arc if you need to go into D-Arc. Then we play 3 copies of Lamia. Lamia is the tuner of the deck. It lets us go into so many different plays. It doesn't look like much because it's just a level 1 tuner monster, but believe me, it is. If this card's in your hand or in your grave, you can send a DD or Dark Contract monster from your hand or face up from your field to the grave, except another copy of itself. And then you could special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. That's not that big of a deal to banish it because you just want to get a bunch of combo pieces on the field to be able to synchro and XYZ and pendulum summon and all sorts of different plays that you want to be able to do. So you really need 3 copies of Lamia. The last DDD monster that we play, or DD monster, is Vice Typhon. The reason you play Vice Typhon in here, and I didn't really, when I started building this deck again, I was kind of like, why am I going to play Vice Typhon? Vice Typhon seems like crazy. But like, when you use it and you actually like look at it, you can understand the card's potential, because that's the thing about DDD monsters, is you have to like understand the combos, understand what you're trying to get as your in board when you're playing them. So like, when this card is normal summon, you contribute a DD monster, special summon a level 7 or higher DD monster from your deck, and during your main phase, if this card's in the grave, now this is the effect that you're going to use the majority of the time. During your main phase, if this card's in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can fusion summon 1 level 8 or higher DDD fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your graveyard, including this card. So that's the big effect, because you're going to use Vice Typhon to go for your DDD Flame High King Genghis. That's the big play that you're going to be using to summon Genghis. So the next ones that we play are the final 3 monsters that we play in this deck is 1 copy of Gate 0 and 2 copies of Darkworm. Now the reason you play this is because they're pendulum scales, and if you start out with like Dragon Shrine in hand, send Darkworm to grave, and then you can just start linking and linking and linking, and it really helps out a lot to be able to do things like that and be able to just link summon a way to get exactly what you need when you need it. And you can have just so many different plays with the copy. Just the 2 copies of Darkworm give you a lot of plays that you need in this deck to be able to just link summon all that you need to link summon. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. And the cool thing about DDDs is you can kind of customize this deck and make it whatever you want it to make it. Like, you do have to have a generic, at least 2 Ragnarok, at least 3 Swirl Slime, but you can kind of mess around with it a little bit. So then I play 1 copy of Monster Reborn just as a play extender, so I can just reborn like Lamia or something like that I send to the grave so it doesn't get banished or anything like that. Or if I want to bring back one of my extra deck monsters that I've linked away or synchroed away, I can do that. 1 copy of 1 for 1 because you play a lot of level 1s in here. 1 copy of Foolish Burial because, like I said, Necro Slime, Swirl Slime, and your DD Lamia all benefit off of being in the grave, so you just play this. 2 copies of Dragon Shrine because you want to open up. You want to send Darkworm to grave as quickly as possible because it only works if you don't have a monster on your field. So that's why I play the 2 Dragon Shrines. 3 copies of Allure because everything in the main deck is dark. So it's really easy to just get all that draw power to get more combo extenders. Then I play 1 copy of DD or Dark Contract with the Swamp King. I want to call everything in DDD, but this one basically lets you fusion summon a Fiend type fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. And then once returned, if a DD fusion monster is summoned this way, you can also banish monsters from your graveyard as fusion materials. And then once returned, during your stamina phase, you take 1,000 life points. So it's a really good card to be able to fusion summon with. Then I play 3 copies of Dark Contract with a Gate. This card is basically like the, I guess, Rhoda for the deck. During your main phase, you can add a DD monster from your deck to your hand, and you take 1,000 damage. I mean, that's not that big of a deal to take 1,000 damage, because you're going to play stuff that prevents you from taking damage, or you're just going to remove the Dark Contract with the Gate from the field altogether. Then for the final 3 cards of the deck, I play 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave, this is such a super combo heavy deck that you need Call by the Grave to prevent your opponent from actually like interrupting your combo. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. We don't play any traps. We don't need them in this deck, sadly. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing one copy of Duodon Yugioh. Yugioh is kind of like Cold Wave, if you guys don't know that card. Basically what it does is after this card is XYZ summoned, for the rest of the turn, other cards and their effects cannot be activated on the field, and other cards and effects on the field are negated. And then once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach one material from this card, destroy all spells and traps on the field, and you can detach an XYZ material from this card, then target one dark contract, spell, or trap in your grave and set that target. So basically, it just negates everything on the field, and then you get to destroy all the spells and traps. So really good card, and it kind of resets your dark contracts as well. 38, Hope Harboring Dragon Titanic Galaxy. This card negates spells and traps. Borreload Savage Dragon, basically just more negates on board. Same thing with Crystal Wing, just extra negates on board. DDD Gust King or High Gust King Alexander. You need Gust King High Alexander because if 3 or more DD monsters are on the field, this card gains 3,000 attack, so it becomes a 6k beater. Really easy to do that. And if another DD monster is normal or special summoned to your side of the field while this card's on the field, you can target a DD monster on your grave and special summon it. So basically it has the same effect as Gust King Alexander, except it gains 3k if there's more than 3 DDD monsters on the field. Cursed King Siegfried just negates spells and traps. Gust King High Alexander, this one just special summons a bunch of DDD monsters onto the field, so that's why you play Gust King. DDD Oracle King D-Arc. I'm honestly thinking about cutting this for another Link monster. I don't know yet because I'm not that concerned about the damage anymore. So I just kind of had it in here still, and I was like, man, I want to play it, but I don't. So I'm thinking about cutting D-Arc and putting in like Skull Dread or Boral Savage or something like that, or not Boral Savage, but Borreload, like something like this. But you guys do you. I just don't think I'm going to keep playing it for much longer because I just don't see myself making it all the time. I've been playtesting this deck and I just don't see myself making D-Arc all that much. Flame King or Flame High King Genghis. This kind of has the same, close to the same effect as Flame King Genghis. You just get to special summon a DD monster. If another DD monster is normal special summon while this card's on the field, you can target a DD monster in your grave and special summon it. And then also it has the effect of once per turn when a spell, trap, or monster or effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation. So it's a really good effect to be able to negate stuff. It's an additional negation on board. 2 Flame King Genghis. Flame King Genghis just special summon stuff when you special summon stuff. That's the big thing about Genghis. And then for the Link monsters, I'm playing a Summon Sorceress just to special summon what I need. For play extenders, Master King Archfiend. I'm playing this. I'm thinking about playing Wee Witch instead, but I'm not quite sure yet because I play some light monsters in the extra deck, and everything's Fiend in the main deck except for what's it called? Darkworm. Darkworm's a dragon, so that's the only thing that's like not a Fiend that I can't use to sync or link into this. Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. I play this because it's a Pendulum deck, so I mean, why not? And then 1 Link Rebo because there's so many level 1s in the deck. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope this one helps you out, Todd, because I really wanted to make this deck for you. Shout out to him. Don't forget to check out his YouTube channel. It'll be down in the description below. Really awesome YouTube channel. He posts all sorts of gaming stuff out on his channel. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Tell me what you think. And the nice thing, like I said about DDDs, is it's kind of subjective. You can put whatever you want in this deck. And it's kind of like a toolbox deck for, you might find a combo that you like that I might not know in DDDs, and this is just the way I built them, which is nice. You have a standard, and then you can like play around with the deck a little bit. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell down there so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.